Now we have done on the attributes of the Prophet ﷺ. Believing in Allah, believing in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the attributes of Allah, the attributes of the messengers and the Anbiya. Then the attributes, the attributes which is wajib on the Prophet alayhi salatu wasallam. The fourth attribute, that's where we stop, right? The fourth attribute of the messengers, the prophets. We have done it? We have done it. Khalas, mashallah, tabarakallah. Believing in Allah, the attributes of Allah we have learned. Whatever which is possible, which is impossible, wajib, and which is impossible for Allah. The attributes of Anbiya, what is wajib and what is impossible. Like when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the messengers alayhimu salatu wasalam. Imam Ahmad bin Zayd al-Habshi, he mentioned here that he, the exalted, sent our Master Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his servant and messenger to the whole of humankind for their guidance, so that they could perfect their lives and complete their return to him. He helped him with clear miracles. Have we explained the different kind of miracles? 7 different types. There are 7 kind of miracles which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can give human. Tamam. It is called irhasat. Number 2. It is called mu'jizat. Number 3. It is called i'ana. First al-karam. Number 3, al-karama. Number 4, al-i'ana. Write down. Number 5, al-ihana. And number 6, al-sihr. Number 7, al-istidraj. Alhamdulillah min dhalik. For those who are used to listen to Sittu Turab, Mawlid Sittu Turab, they will hear irhasat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Come on. طيب, irhasat, let me start, because the water here, mashallah, is coming out more and more. Irhasat are the kind of, let me explain a little bit one by one, and then I will go in detail. Irhasat are the kind of miracles which happens to the prophets. Okay, write the definition of this. The kind of miracles which happens to the prophets. Irhasat. The kind of miracles which happens to the prophets before their prophecy. Before their prophecy. Mu'jizat. The kind of miracles that happens to the prophets after their prophecy and cannot be challenged. Mu'jizat, kind of miracles happen to the prophets after their prophecy and cannot be challenged. Al-Karama, the kind of miracles happens Al-Karama, the kind of miracles happen to the beloved servants of Allah. The beloved servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-i'ana. Oh, I didn't put baris, please forgive me. Al-i'ana is that kind of miracles that happens to general Muslims. Al-i'ana. Kind of miracles happen to the general Muslims. Al-ihana. Al-karamah, something I forgot to add. Kind of miracles happen to the beloved servants of Allah to honor them. To honor them. And al-ihana, kinds of miracles, happen to the enemies of Allah. Happens to the happens to the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to humiliate them. To humiliate them. As-sihr. Kinds of miracles happen by disobeying Allah in a certain manner. Oh, mashallah. Kinds of miracles happen by disobeying Allah in a certain manner. Al-istidraj. Al-istidraj is kind of miracles given to the enemies of Allah. Kind of miracles which is given to the enemies of Allah to keep them astray and not guided. To keep them astray and not guided. Irhasat. The kind of miracles given to prophets before their prophecy. Betul? 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 Mu'jizat. All these 7 things falls under miracles, under khawariq al-adat, things which are against the norm. Al-irhasat. These are the kind of miracles which happens to the prophets before they get their prophecy. An example like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik alayhi. Before he was born, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there always so many miracles happened to Aminah. Aminah didn't feel any difficulties. She didn't feel any heaviness. When she was pregnant of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, she got good dreams. She was visited by Asya. She was visited by Maryam. She was visited by 9 prophets. By Adam, and then by Noah, by Ibrahim, by Musa, by Isa, by Yahya, by by Dawood, by Sulaiman. Rasulullah SAW was visited by prophets. And Rasulullah's mother was visited by the prophets. And when Rasulullah was born, he was born circumcised, mashallah. He was born with eyeliner on his eyes. When he was born, he did prostration to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately just after he was born. And he was showing his finger towards the heaven. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was still an infant, when he was just born, and Halimatu Sa'diyah, she could hear the taslimul hajar, and Ash-Shajar, the stones and the trees were giving salams to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Halimah Sa'diyah wanted to honor, she thought that she wanted to honor Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by letting him kissing Hajar Aswad. When he brought Rasulullah near the Hajar Aswad, when she brought Rasulullah near Hajar Aswad, she saw the Hajar Aswad came out of its place and kissed Rasulullah sallallahu. These are irhasat. These are just a little from what we mentioned. And then when she put Rasulullah sallallahu, she didn't have any milk in her body, Halimah Sa'diyah. Her body was empty. MashaAllah. She was a poor lady. She couldn't even give milk to her own son. But when she got Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when she put Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on her right breast, suddenly she could feel that milk was gushing out of her breast. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then when she put on the left breast, Rasulullah didn't want to drink, because Rasulullah knew that Halimah Sa'diyah has another son who's also in need of milk, so that he didn't want to take the share of that person. He was guided by Allah since he was born, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was young, this is the story of Mawlid. This is the Mawlid. When Rasulullah was young, then when he was sleeping, in the middle of the night, when Halimah Sa'diyah suddenly saw that something, Rasulullah was, someone was singing something to Rasulullah sallallahu. And she knew that there was no anyone at home other than her family members. When she looked at Rasulullah, suddenly she saw Rasulullah was pointing towards the sky. Rasulullah was pointing towards the sky. When Rasulullah pointed upwards, then the moon go upwards. When Rasulullah pointed upwards, then the moon go upwards. When Rasulullah pointed to the right, then the moon will follow to the right. Rasulullah stopped. The moon. And the moon was coming close to Rasulullah and the moon was singing for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Those are all the kinds of irhasat. And there are many other irhasat which happened to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam before his prophecy sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then he has the seal of the Prophet on his back, on his left shoulder blade, just behind his heart, on the left hand side. Tamam. These are all irhasat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then also happens to other prophets. An example like Nabi Isa. He was able to speak when he was an infant. When he was just born, he was still an infant. He was still a child. MashaAllah, he could already speak. Not speak. He gave khutbah. He made a khutbah. Inni Abdullah. آتاني الكتاب وجعلني نبيا وجعلني مباركا أينما كنت. He said, well, I'm the servant of Allah. When they say, oh Maryam, قالوا يا مريم لقد جئت شيئا فريا ما كان أبوك امرأ سوء وما كانت أمك بغيا. They say, oh Maryam, you have brought something which is foreign, strange, something which is bad. Your father, he was not a bad man, and your mother, she wasn't a prostitute. And then Maryam was told by Allah to fast for 3 days. Fast from what? Fast from speaking. That is why there is such thing as fasting from speaking, fasting from certain kind of food in Christianity until today. So what did she do? فَأَشَارَتْ إِلَيْهِ. She pointed to Nabi Isa. She told them to speak to Nabi Isa. What did he say? How could we speak to someone who is still in the mahad? Mahad means what in English? Cradle, in a cradle. How could we speak to someone who is still in his cradle? And they were laughing. I don't know how they laugh, mashallah. And then immediately Nabi Isa spoke. Qala inni Abdullah. He said that I'm the servant of Allah. Atani al-kitab. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed to give me a book. Wa ja'alani nabiyya. And He has made me a prophet. Wa ja'alani mubarakan aynama kuntu. And He will make me as a blessed one wherever I am. Wa awsani bis salah. And He has instructed me to do salat. وَأَوْصَانِي بِالزَّكَاةِ He has instructed me to do zakat. مَا دُمْتُ حَيًّا As long as I live. Is he still living? Nabi Isa? He is still living. So when he comes down, he will do the same thing. He will tell everyone to do salah. He will tell everyone to do zakat. أَوْصَانِي بِالصَّلَاةِ مَا دُمْتُ حَيًّا وَبَرًّا بِوَالِدَتِي And do good to do act of kindness to my mother. وَلَمْ يَجْعَلْنَا جَبَّارًا شَقِيًّا He did not make me, and Allah did not make me amongst the oppressors, the harsh ones. Tamam. وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَيَّ يَوْمَ وُلِدْتُ Ya salam. He made his own mawlid. And peace and blessings be upon the day when I was born. وَيَوْمَ أَمُوتُ And the day that I will die. وَيَوْمَ أُبْعَثُ حَيًّا And the day when I will be brought up by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are irhasat. And it happens to many other prophets, alayhimus salatu wassalam. Mu'jizat are the kind of miracles that happens to prophets after their prophecy and cannot be challenged. Cannot be challenged. And one of the way for you to increase your love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is for you to learn his mu'jizat. To learn his mu'jizat sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his irhasat. That is one of the best way we can increase love and respect and honor for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Many kind of honor which we can see in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Many kind of mu'jizat. Al-Karamah, mu'jizat we're not going to mention because why? Because it's going to be a lecture. Or it could be series of lectures. Just on the mu'jizat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the greatest mu'jizat of Rasulullah is the Quran, which is still in front of us until today. Nobody in history since the time of Rasulullah until today could ever utter something similar or even a little bit similar to the Quran. No one could ever do that. Al-Karamah, the kind of miracles which is given to the beloved servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can it be challenged? Yes, it can be challenged. So when we see Karamah, number one, if we get anything good, suddenly like miracles happen to us, please don't think that it is Karamah. MashaAllah, I have Karamah. Come on. I'm a beloved servant of Allah. Be careful, One of the things that will make you fall into Su'ul Khatimah, to get bad endings, is to think that you're a wali Allah. We have to be very careful with that. Beloved servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-i'anah. If miracles happen to us, then we can think that we might get this. Al-i'anah. Al-i'anah means kinds of miracles happen to general Muslims. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see that they are in need, or even when they are not in need, whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to give them some kind of help, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make things not according to the norm. This is al-i'anah. Al-i'anah. This is interesting. The kind of miracles that happens to enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to humiliate them. Because Allah wants to humiliate them. An example happened to Musailamatul Kadhab. Musailamatul Kadhab, he was so insignificant to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He wrote a letter to Rasulullah. He said, Min Musailamah Rasulullah something. Ila Muhammad Rasulullah. He said, from Musailamah Rasul, he called himself the messenger of Allah. To Muhammad, the messenger of Allah. Subhanallah. It's a recognition from himself that Rasulullah was the messenger of Allah. He said that the earth, half for me and half for you. Tamam. You will rule your side of the world and I will rule my side of the world. And then he continued writing his letter. Rasulullah took the letter. Rasulullah, when he replies letters from governments and from kings, he will reply with respect. And he will write properly and he will have his seal. Everything is very properly. But when it comes to Musailamah, what did he do? The same letter. He flipped the letter. He wrote Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He didn't write, of course, he told the Sahaba to write for him. What did he write? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he wrote, Min Muhammad Rasulillah ila Musailamah al-Kadhdhab. He said, from Muhammad the messenger of Allah to Musailamah the liar. Innal arda lillahi yurithuha man yasha'u min ibadihi wal 'aqibatu lil muttaqin. That's all. He replied. He said that this earth belongs to Allah, and He gives to whoever He wants. Wal 'aqibatu lil muttaqin, and glad tidings for those people who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah gives to Musailamah al-Kadhdhab. Since that day he was called Musailamah al-Kadhdhab, until today he is still called Musailamah al-Kadhdhab. Musailamah al-Kadhdhab. What happened to him? You know, Rasulullah SAW, when people have newborn child, they will come to Rasulullah. Rasulullah will rip on their head, and then suddenly their hair will grow, mashallah. If they have any kind of sicknesses, they will go to Rasulullah. So those people from Bani Hanifa, they thought that they can do the same to Musailamah al-Kadhdhab. They say, oh Musailamah, they say that the Quraysh, they have their prophet, and we have our prophet. They go to their prophets when they have problems. They go to their prophet when they have problems. And we are coming to you, now we are having problems. My child is sick. Come on. The doctor said that he is going to die. So please read on him. Inshallah, Musailamah, I don't know what he reads. Read. What happened next moment? The child dies. Rasulullah SAW, when there was no water in the well, there was little water. They couldn't take wudu properly. They will call Rasulullah SAW, and then Rasulullah will just spit in the well, and then the water will gush out of the well. MashaAllah, clean, fresh water. So they tell Musailamah, we have water, but we want it more. Come on. So spit in the well. Musailamah went to the well. Then he spits. He read, he spits. What happened? The well dried. The well got dried because Musailamah spat in the well. There was one guy, he got problem with his eyes. He had some pain in his eyes. And they heard stories of Rasulullah SAW, Sayyidina Ali, when they had problems in their eyes, they will come to Rasulullah. Rasulullah will read, and MashaAllah, it will be very clear, as though there is no kind of, they have never been inflicted with any kind of sicknesses. So they come to Rasulullah, Musailamah, I have problem with my eyes. Read on my eyes. He spat on the eyes. What happened? Got blind. This is al-ihana. This is al-ihana. As-sihr, kind of miracles that happen in certain manner, by disobeying Allah in certain manner. As-sihr. And most of the sihr, it always involves husband and wife. Allah mentioned in the Quran, يُفَرِّقُونَ مَا بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَزَوْجِهِ. To these two, separate the man and his wife, a person from his wife. Most of the sihr is most of the time it's being used in this way. And this thing is serious, and it happens in this ummah, and it doesn't get any lesser, it just gets more and more and more and more. It will not get any lesser. And this thing is serious, it happens a lot. That is why it is very important for us to have certain kind of adhkar to protect ourselves from sihr. And the last one is al-istidraj. Al-istidraj. Kind of miracles given to enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to let them go astray and not guide them. Like Dajjal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him miracles. He is able to instruct the plant to go up from the ground. He is able to instruct the clouds whether to send rain or not to send rain. He is able to rule everything. But it is not that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is honoring him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is just letting him go astray and thinking that he is right, so that he will not be guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is why our scholars, when they receive some good ni'mah from Allah, even though it doesn't fall in this category, but they always fear that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might make those things and might make him fall into this category by getting further from Allah because certain kind of ni'mah. That's why we have to be very careful. Any kind of ni'mah, every kind of blessings, any kind of gifts we get from Allah, we have to make sure that we use it in a way that we get close to Allah with that ni'mah. And we don't bring ourselves further from Allah with that ni'mah. Rabbi ighfirli wa tub alayya innaka anta tawwabur rahim. Inshallah. Actually, there are lots of stories to be told just out of the 7 things. But inshallah, we will stop here. And then today, inshallah, we will replace with as-salah. It's a salawat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam instead of our adhkar, because of Mawlid al-Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And inshallah, we might start again in mid-February with a new book, inshallah. And also our marriage will continue. Not our marriage, our marriage class will continue. But we will do a new book, inshallah, Sirah and Shama'il of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, getting to know more about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so that we can increase love for him and we could appreciate his effort sallallahu alaihi wasallam and everything else got to do with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rabbi ighfirli wa tub alayya innaka antat tawwabur rahim. Inshallah we will do mahall al-qiyam.